Mhm. Good morning, Mr. Harold.
Hello. Good morning, madam.
How are you?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar. Good afternoon. I'm happy to see the number of participants today. We have eminent travel trade today. We have ICRT members joining us. We have major stakeholders practicing responsible tourism in the state of Maharashtra across India. Then we have academia. There are students from several colleges wherein the screens are displayed on in the colleges and students are watching. We have our regional managers, our resort managers, our BN bed and breakfast holders, our Mahabrahman scheme, that is experiential tourism holders. So all of us are there today. So really thank you all of you for this for your participation. Now our today's webinar about responsible tourism initiative of MTDC under the able leadership of our Managing Director Srimati Shraddha Joshi Sharma Madam. So she has been a great motivation throughout the initiative of MTDC. We have been implemented several initiatives. So this is the basic our topic for today, and our honored guest for today's webinar, Professor Harold Goodwin. He is a great eminent personality in responsible tourism across the globe. So Professor Harold Goodwin is there with us today. I would just shortly introduce him. He is the director of Responsible Tourism Partnership. He is the founder director of International Center for Responsible Tourism, founded in 2002. He is the professor emeritus at Manchester Metropolitan University. He drafted Cape Town Declaration on Responsible Tourism in 2002. Thereafter, he has been co-chairing international conferences on responsible tourism in destinations worldwide. He drafted the Responsible Tourism Charter, which was signed at Magna Carta Island in 2022. And I'm proud to mention that MTDC has participated in this signing of this charter. Then he has been advisor to World Travel Market, and he has been taking various range of initiatives globally in the field of responsible tourism. A great personality. Welcome, Professor Harold Goodwin, for today's webinar. And now I would request our Managing Director, Srimati Shraddha Joshi Sharma Madam, to address our audience.
Thank you, Mansi. And my heartfelt welcome to each one of you. And heartfelt thanks also because joining about this topic. Actually, we feel that this is a very, very important topic, very, very serious issue, and you all have joined us today for this discussion. So I'm very glad and very thankful. On behalf of MTDC team, I thank all of you who all have joined today. This shows your commitment, our commitment towards this cause. My heartfelt thanks to Professor Harold Goodwin. As Mansi told about his work, he has been doing commendable work towards this cause. Founder of ICRT, ICRT is doing very good work towards responsible tourism. So we all are very, very thankful, Professor Goodwin, for consenting to be here today with us. Other partners I can see on screen. It is difficult to mention everyone's name. So I'm very happy that you all are participating for this cause.
मैम को ये कर दी, मैम बात कर रहे हो, म्यूट कर दिया है।
Shraddha ji is on mute, I think.
Yeah, one moment, please. Ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So was it mute all the time, or I was audible?
Yes, ma'am. You were only not audible for the last 30 seconds.
Okay. Thank you for the information. So I'm very thankful to you. What I feel is this is a very, very important topic. As the head of the organization also, and as an individual also, I feel that this is the time when we all should wake up and do something towards responsible tourism. A few days ago, when I was traveling to Uttarakhand, I am from Uttarakhand. So for my kids' holidays, I was traveling to Uttarakhand. I was in Almora and Nainital. And there, I could feel that it was very, very crowded. Temperatures were soaring high. And when my daughter told me to put on AC, then it was like a shocking thing for me, because when we were growing up, we didn't even have fans in our homes. So actually, this is a very, very alarming situation. And we all are seeing this year climatic change. We all are actually experiencing the same. And we have seen mishaps of Kedarnath or Shimla or parts of Kerala and even other parts of globe also. We have seen such crisis situation.
Don't know that, yeah.
And history tells us that whenever some city or some place there, if tourism grows, tourism flourishes, then generally it gets ended up in exploitation of local people and local resources. So that is a very alarming situation, and we should all be aware of this. We should all be working towards this. MTDC is also doing its bit for this cause. We have taken two kinds of measures, one at a resort level and one is the traveler level. So resort level, we are adopting various practices. We'll be presenting in short while about these practices. And from the travelers angle, we want to encourage good practices. We want them to adopt good practices. And interestingly, we have started our carbon emission calculator also. So not only we are just encouraging, we are actually showcasing how much are they able to save, how much can they save by adopting good practices. And we are seeing good results also. So I'm very happy. I want to specially mention MTDC's GM, Mr. Shekhar Jaiswal. He's very passionate about this project. I think it's his and his team's efforts that we are seeing today. Mansi ji is there, Aniket, Samriddhi fellows, other fellows are also working towards this. And special mention for our regional managers also, because they are taking this to field level. Our resort managers, they are doing really good. Starting pilots we have done at Ganpatipure and Sindhudur, Vaibhav and Siddesh. This team is really doing very good. I'm really glad that you all are taking this cause ahead. You are doing very, very good. Gender tourism also we are doing. So we have initiated with our gender tourism policy. And responsible tourism is just not about green, it's about ethical tourism, it's about taking local communities together. So we are working in this direction. And I think one learning was there in COVID also, because we have seen during COVID, people were traveling for thousands and thousands of kilometers for getting just 2 times of meals. So I feel that if they are getting a generous hike in their salary and if they travel so much, it is justified. But for just becoming a waiter in some hotel or a guard in some ATM, if they travel thousands of kilometers, this is very, very wrong. And it's our responsibility to create employment at local level. And I sincerely feel that tourism is one sector which can actually solve this problem very happily, very gladly, because this cuts across many sectors. Food is there, accommodation there, guides requirement is there, and so many streams are there which are actually related to tourism. So as Mr. Jaiswal says, employing Bhumi Putras, local people we are employing. So that is a very important step. We all are taking care of this thing. We all are trying to employ local people. So these all things we are actually doing at MTDC level that we'll be presenting to you. Again, I am really glad that my team is really doing good, because this is a very, very important sector, very, very important cause. So heartfelt thanks to my team, and I hope that you all will be working in this direction the same way. And I'm very happy that these many people are joining us for this cause, for this discussion today. Your suggestions are very, very welcome. So thank you, everyone, and welcome for this discussion today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam. Under your able guidance only, we have been implementing so many initiatives. Now I would request to play a small video on responsible tourism. It's basically meant for sensitization of our tourists. So we have come up with a video. Okay, thank you. Now I would request our General Manager, Mr. Chandrasekhar Jaiswal, to present MTDC's responsible tourism initiatives to all of you.
Namaskar and thank you, everybody. A special welcome to Srimati Shraddha Joshi Sharma, Madam, our Managing Director, who believed in us, trusted in us, entrusted in us, and got us this special thing, the responsible tourism, to grow in a very big way. My special gesture and a grand welcome to Professor Harold Goodwin. Mr. Harold Goodwin, you had been here in the year 2022. You met us and you said, you guys are doing miraculous. You guys are doing something out of this world. The only thing what you're not doing is documenting it. And Shraddha Joshi Sharma, Madam, helped us. As in fact, she directed us towards documenting everything. So thank you, Professor Harold Goodwin, and thank you for being here. And Manisha Pandey. And ma'am, let me tell you, Professor Goodwin and Srimati Shraddha Joshi Sharma, Madam, that today almost 3,000 people are witnessing this particular webinar of ours. And you can see this 3,000 people who are witnessing, estimated 3,000. Out of that, only one big institution, IHM, there are more than 400 students in one area. We have Central University of Himachal, Professor Sandeep Kulshrestha. He is with his whole team. We have National Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management in Hyderabad. We have people from Bharuch. We have honorable MPs from Bhutan. We have people from Indonesia. We have people from Japan, United States of America, UK again, and a lot of hoteliers, Manisha Pandey from ICRT. And there are so many people, Anil Gupta, people like Anil Gupta, who are here, people from Dharmesh Barai, a very well-known environmentalist is here, whoever I could see on the screen now. Our senior regional managers, our resort managers, then apart from that, HR College, and so many others. In fact, I would like to over-acknowledge all of them. Guru Nanak College, Jai Hind College. So we have more than 214 connections at the moment and more than 3,000 people watching this webinar. Thank you very much, madam, for having this asking us to host this. In words of Professor Goodwin, there is something here, please. Can you remove this? Cancel it, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. In Professor Goodwin's word, right, responsible tourism is making better places for people to live in and better places for people to visit. Very simple. Professor Goodwin is now, right, accredited, is told, and he is the father of responsible tourism in the whole world. And after the Cape Town Declaration in the year 2012 and the Magna Charta in London in 2022, when Shraddha Joshi ma'am also witnessed it, it's very clear that responsible tourism is here to stay for a long time. And may I have the screen, the PPT put in, please? So could we go to the third slide, Parag? Good, the next one, yes. So if you look into responsible tourism, as we say, right, before we start with actually talking about what are the initiatives of MTDC and other things, I would like to tell you in a nutshell, within 2 to 3 minutes, what exactly happened, why the need for responsible tourism, why people like Professor Goodwin have come up with iconic messages, why we have ICRT, why we have Responsible Tourism Society of India, why we have Kerala Tourism, Madhya Pradesh Tourism, excelling in responsible tourism. What is it after all? What is responsible tourism? Why it has happened? You should know that from 1972 onwards till 2023, we had a series of environmental conferences. In the year 1972, you had the Stockholm Conference, and everybody was talking about the impacts of human beings, the actions of human beings on various things on the planet Earth. If you look into the planet Earth and you see that the impact which man has created, right, are permanent impacts. Some are impacts which go beyond our imagination, and we are the screen has become blurred. Can we have this cleared? Somebody can coordinate, right? So now it's okay. So responsible tourism came in with a small message saying that what Mahatma Gandhi once said. Mahatma Gandhi said, the earth has for everyone's need. The earth has enough for everyone's need, but the earth doesn't have enough for everyone's greed. So with that in mind, if you look into our ancient text, if you go into religions, various religions in the world, if you go into our community building up, and if you go into our sanskaras and everything, you will find each nation, each religion has professed that environment is the biggest part on this earth and it should be preserved. It should be taken care of. So right from those environmental conferences till in Bristol, right, in Doha, in Qatar, in other places. So we have here a message that responsible tourism practices have to be done, and MTDC has pioneered the work. MTDC has taken the front line to educate people, to make aware people, to make people understand how they can alleviate and mitigate the effects of their doings on planet Earth, or their effects on their doing on the social fabric, effects of their doing on the cultural woven fabric, and also how economic impacts create imbalance and trigger development. So two sides of the same coin. So with that in mind, we are saying that maybe we are a small part of it, responsible tourism, but our MTDC under the guidance of our Srimati Shraddha Joshi Sharma Madam, Professor Goodwin, and all in fact, the whole fraternity in tourism, we would like to say that we would be helping, contributing a small part of it and inducing a different lifestyle for people. We will be inducing new behaviors. We will be interested in looking at the tourist psychology, getting things harmonized. So after all, responsible tourism, MTDC is engaging because of all these factors. We are harmonizing tourism with the considerations of environment, culture, economy, and social well-being. We are promoting sustainable and ethical tourism practices, as well as preserving the planet Earth and supporting local communities. MTDC has been in the front line, in the forefront, on the ground for outreach programs. We have done beautiful outreach programs. We are the first organization perhaps in the country to come up with tourist camps for PWDs, persons with disabilities, because we talk about all-inclusive tourism, and the UN tourism also talks about that. Professor Goodwin, we are going ahead and we say, next slide, please. Why are we getting into all this? So the vision is, next slide, please. The vision is, you can see, the mission is very clear. Rethinking tourism now. We are saying that we would like to rethink tourism now. And when we say rethink tourism, we are not talking about stopping tourism. We are talking about redoing it in a different way together, reorienting it. So what we say now, our nara, our slogan is very simple. If we are responsible tourism today, or if we are responsible today, we'll be sustainable tomorrow. And sustainability is a very big process. But let us start with being responsible. We should not go with the theory of abundance. Money cannot buy everything. Money cannot buy happiness. Money cannot buy all the resources in the world. Money cannot buy water. Money cannot buy trees. It cannot buy forests and the endangered wildlife or the biodiversity as such. Next, please. So if you look into the MTDC's responsible tourism logo, you can see this rethink tourism. Thank you, MD ma'am, Srimati Shraddha Joshi Sharma madam, Mansi, and my all team, all of us here, right? We came up with this very iconic logo, Professor Goodwin, and all the fraternity, academia, industry, all the BNB holders, Mahabrahman scheme holders, everybody whom I can see. A lot of people have joined. In fact, so many people are joining and a lot of people are watching us now, right now. We need to speak the truth and we need to speak from our heart. Can we remove that comment, please? Yeah. So MTD is a responsible tourism initiative. If you look at the logo, you can see the gradual darkening of the footprint. So if you look at the footprint, so we have a normal footprint of a human being, which is getting towards the green. And that is what about rethinking of tourism is all about. Since we are very short on time, we are just cutting it off and we can always be in touch. Next, please. So you can see the negative impacts of tourism of tourism on the environment and other places. Like this is a common site. Ma'am was just talking about Uttarakhand. In fact, a lot many other things can be connected. We have very few pictures to share. You can see how graffiti is ruining the monuments of our country, and not only our country, other places. You can see that social imbalance in one of the pictures where you can see one person who is sitting with a cart and selling something. And what we revere, our cows and everything, our cattle, they are sitting on a heap of plastic dump. And, our rivers getting polluted in a way, our forts getting, totally, filled up with waste. So these are some of the negative impacts of tourism which we wanted to say. Now we come to ICRT. Next. ICRT. Next, please. Are you attentive? Excuse me. Next slide, please. So, is it changed now? Thank you. So this is the process. MTDC got in touch with various organizations from 2022 onwards. Our principal secretary, Srimati Jayashree Bhosh Madam, was the MD then. And then she, along with us, she interested in the same way as ma'am did. And we started with the circulars. But this was only a short-lived thing in that period of around 2-3 months. And later, very ably and very nicely, immaculately carried out by Srimati Shraddha Joshi Sharma Madam. And we released several circulars. We had a collaboration with ICRT, which is the International Center for Responsible Tourism. We signed a MOU with ICRT UK, which was done by Srimati Shraddha Joshi Madam and Professor Goodwin. Professor Goodwin has been our mentor for all this. And then the third thing which we did was that we have signed a lot of MOUs with not many people and various circulars, a lot of documentation. We did a document which is called as Rethinking Tourism. The documentation has been done in a very perfect way. Today we can claim and we can boast of having more than 10 very specific documents on responsible tourism, which are breed apart, which are not copied from anywhere, which are not from any source of Google or something like that, but straight away come out from our practices and our things at our resorts and our units. Next, please. The ICRT, as you can see, is a network of people who support the Cape Town Declaration, which was done in 2012. And in India, with the chapter head, the India head is Manisha Pandey, and very ably, the universe head is Professor Goodwin, who is witnessing. In fact, we are very lucky to have him here today, along with Srimati Shraddha ma'am also, and all our people. Indeed, very lucky. He has authored so many books, has been a professor everywhere, and he's been lecturing. In fact, when we contacted him last week, we had to postpone this seminar for the very reason he was looking at in Latin American countries, some programs, and he was totally tied up. But thank you very much. Early morning in London, you has given us time today. And can we have this person here, please, kept it here? And the 2002, so we signed an agreement and we also signed the Magna Charter. And we have a lot of MTDC MOUs with various bodies. Next, please. So what we do in MTDC, what are the practices we do? One of the major areas, in fact, which has to be dwelt and dealt separately, has been empowering, the women and marginalized communities. We have done a major work on that. There's a separate vertical altogether, Professor Goodwin. We have gender in tourism policy. The government of Maharashtra is the first one to do it in India. And we have done it. And I'm thankful to, again, Shraddha ma'am, also our secretary ma'am, Jaishu ma'am, they have all done it. In fact, Shraddha ma'am has actually, she has empowered our people. 3 resorts, 3 hotels of MTDC have converted into all women-run resorts one at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Nagpur, and Kharghar. So all 3 together. We have women-led packages. We have women-run heritage walks. We operate a lot of activities through women to women, women to everybody. That is how the things are, the concepts are. And we have special needs. You'll be surprised to know, a very pleasant surprise, Professor Goodwin, for all our resorts and all the people who are watching here. If you go to the resorts in MTDC Kharghar or MTDC Aurangabad, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, that is Aurangabad, or Nagpur, don't get surprised and don't be taken aback, because we have women launch, right? The first car of its kind. In fact, I would perhaps, please forgive me, everybody, I would perhaps say that in a big hotel will not have a women's lounge, but we have a women's lounge separately dedicated for a very good time for women there who are coming in, very individual, very private. That is how it is. Thank you so much. So ultimately, we have reached a more inclusive and respectful tourism. Next slide, please. The second thing is that, thank you, our superintending engineer, Mr. Borse, is here. And I thank him profusely. I thank the MD profusely, all the regional managers, and everybody here who looks after MTDC. MTDC is one of the first tourism organizations in India to have a barrier-free environment and accessible environment. We not only that, our World Heritage sites in Maharashtra also are barrier-free now. And Mr. Borse was very crucial in creating a barrier-free environment. Each of our places, each of our hotels, every hotel, in fact, every resort of ours is barrier-free. We have barrier-free in terms of physicalness. We are barrier-free in terms of mentalness. And barrier-free for the very reason Mr. Borse has created wonderful ramps. We have ramps which walk you through. We have wheelchairs which take you there. And apart from that, we don't have reservations for anybody. We don't have any mental blocks. Everybody is welcome. We were the first, Professor Goodwin and the audience and everybody, the industry professors, we were the first professors from HR college to have the camp. Thank you, Mansi. We did the first tourist camp for PWDs, the persons with disabilities, Divyanjan, right? And this camp for TPWs was the first ever taken in our country. And this is the various things which keep doing. Next, please. The path-breaking responsible tourism practices of MTDC. So this is what we do. We have responsible tourism program. The first one we have is Bhumiputras. As ma'am said, what we do is that a big hotel group, right? We get a lot of feedback. Okay, your service has not been good. Your people have not been good. We were not looked after. That happens for the first 2-3 years. The fourth year, the third year's beginning, and the fourth year, fifth year, when the gestation of the hotel, the break even of the hotel goes up, and and we are about to achieve something, that is when we realize that the people whom we hired, we employed from the local market, from the local area, the school dropouts, our country, our whole world is very fond of people having qualifications. A matriculate, a 12th standard, a graduate, an undergraduate can get a job anywhere. But what about the people who are school dropouts because of the financial problems? So such people, MTDC employs them, trains them, invests in them. And I could say to you, Professor Goodwin, that is the best investment MTDC has ever made. Thank you. The next one is biodegradable packaging. A few of our resorts have started this. Kharghar is leading into it. We have plantain leaves, we have threads, we have the yarn is made of cotton. Everything is biodegradable. Everything goes into the biogeochemical cycle of the earth. So we have got nothing. Even our paper which we use for cardboard is not, stained, or it doesn't use a dye. Then we also have, we do microplastic plugging, which is one of the biggest things. Mr. Aniket, could you stop that? Microplastic plugging. Microplastic plugging. Again, the audiences and Professor Goodwin and ma'am, we have been pioneers. It never came to us. It's not on the Google. It's not on the Google. You have microplastic on the Google. And now, when our principal secretary, Government of Maharashtra, and our honorable managing director, Srimati Shraddha Joshi Sharma, they sat on a piece of ground near the Aurangabad caves, and they started picking up one by one the beads, which are the beads and the plastic remains in the soil, all right, with a forceps. And that is what microplastic blogging was all about. We could prove it that in 1 square feet of area, there have been more than 100 pieces of plastic and other remains which are not biodegradable. Community-based tourism is another factor. It's getting blurred. Another factor you need to watch on this. Community is getting blurred. So community-based tourism is another thing. So we can see one of our able man, we call him Incredible Raj, who is taking a meeting with the local women folk in Ajanta, a World Heritage Site, one of the first World Heritage Site of India. And he's talking to these people about how they can start with sky watching and all that. So these are all other aspects. And then we have Flamingo Fest, which we took. There are so many other aspects. Next, please. Now, this is iconic, and we don't want pictures to interfere here. So we thought we should go with this. We are the first and we claim it, right? As is the practice, as is the order, as are the things. The elimination of artificial food colors, additives, preservatives, sweeteners has been done away with by MTDC. All we do, we don't even use MSG, that is monosodium glutamate. In fact, sodium glutamate is banned in countries like Myanmar. But since it is available very freely in most of the nations, but has been told to be carcinogenic, we do away with it. We don't use it at all. Even with the brand names of all MSGs, we don't use it. MSG is also called as Ajinomoto, but Ajinomoto is a Japanese trademark. It's a Japanese word. So then the second one is big tree conservation. We have gone into big tree conservation. Biodegradable, no single use of plastic is another area. We don't use single use plastic, sir. We have stopped doing that. And elimination of plastic banner flexes and everything. So this is how it. We also have a lot of carbon. Our Tadoba resort, under the able guidance of Shri Vijay Sherki, we are the first resort in Tadoba to achieve 100% waste management. and this will be proved in the next 15 days. We have signed an agreement with Recharka and Amita Deshpande, one of the women who looks into 7 hotels within the jurisdiction of Tadoba, and waste reduction and management is being done by our employees as a part of their work, right? And the various carbon neutral initiatives which we have. So we are progressing towards carbon literacy measures to reduce CO2 emission, plantation drives, and the biggest is biodiversity conservation. We'll talk about this after a few minutes. Next, please. And employing Bhumiputras, we have already spoken about. We try to promote. What we have done is recently the self-help groups. We have people who come from various backgrounds in the village area. Most of our resorts are located in remote areas, hilly areas very close to the shore, right? With that in mind, we have tried to see that how we can give a better platform to the locals. A few of our resorts have recently started creating markets for local produce. One of our resorts like Mahabaleshwar gets people, right? One of the resorts like Malshej, where we have wild vegetables. Professor Goodwin, you'll be surprised to know there are hilly tract Western Ghats, or the hilly tract, the western part of Maharashtra gets a lot of wild veggies, right? We get the wild vegetables, and those wild vegetables are brought by the locals from within the tribal villages near one of our resorts in a very remote area called as Malshej Ghat, and sold to the tourists. And it's a novelty for the tourist, and that is how they earn a livelihood for that season. So we have got guest awareness program which we came up with, and one of the biggest guest awareness programs which we are going to talk to you about is our MTDC Responsible Traveler Program, which we are sure to nominate for the ICRT award soon. And this year, and these are various things. In fact, this is community-based tourism I spoke to you about. We are our tourists, our guests are getting certified nowadays when they come to most of the hotels. Now, Tarkarli, Ganpati Pule, and one more resort of yours certifies all the guests for the traveler program, right? So they take a pledge for the being a responsible traveler, promoting local art and culture and all other things, and how they can contribute in a very nice way without impacting on the social, environmental, cultural, and economic factors. How don't they increase the price index of that area? So many things, right? Next, please. Economically responsible tourism. So we are looking at, I just told in the beginning of it, that we are not looking at economic disparity from tourism. We're not talking about imbalance towards tourism from tourism. We're talking about raising, of price indexes to tourism. But we are talking about real benefits of economics to local, right? Like employing the Bhumiputras and buying everything from the local producers and everything. Things like farm to table concept, and promoting a lot of sustainable tourism products within Maharashtra and our international and domestic markets. A lot of stakeholder collaboration, a lot of consultation, right? Confirmations, reconfirmations, reaffirmations, and affirmations. And we also have bed and breakfast, right? We have units all across Maharashtra, more than 1,700 of them. We have experiential tourism units called as Mahabrahman, and they all ready to adopt this, and most of them have started adopting the responsible tourism practices. Next, please. Culturally responsible tourism, we are looking at how we can promote, preserve, propagate, and practice 4 Ps. How we can promote, preserve, propagate, and practice culture, right? By tourism, how we can use tourism as a tool to preserve our culture. We are having a lot of resorts, and within the vicinity, within the precinct of the resort, there are a lot of factors which get into. We have cultural attributes, both tangible and non-tangible cultural heritage. In fact, we have been working very seriously with banglanatak.com and on intangible cultural heritage, and we will come up with a document in future for sure. So artisans and craftspeople get a platform at MTDC resorts, and we would like to make it more active and more regular a feature. Next, please. Sustainable tourism engineering, I spoke, I brought laurels to Mr. Borse that, you know, what we are doing is that we keep talking. In fact, we keep arguing on all this. And we said, I say sustainable material. And slowly he says, yes, all sustainable material. MD ma'am says sustainable material. We have come with it. We have materials which are being used in our resorts now, which are so porous, right? So nice, they are breathable, right? We use the local stone in Konkan, or the Konkan, the shore part of Maharashtra, the coastline of Maharashtra, where we get the red laterite rock, right? That is being used. We call it a breathable rock. Or in the part from where I come from, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, on the central Deccan Trap of Maharashtra or the Deccan Plateau. So we have basalt rock, and India's best buildings. Some of the best buildings are Ajanta Visitor Center and Ellora Visitor Center. And both of them have been told by the IIT Chennai and the India Today magazine that they are the best architectural marvels of this country. Do we have time to look at it? Please, all of you are requested to come and have a look at it once, right? We are looking forward, along with our engineering department and our management, that can we get some green certifications for our buildings? Can we get IGBC? Can we get some green audits done? Our first green audit was done under the chairpersonship of Srimati Shraddha Joshi Madam. Recently of Ganpatipura, we have come up with amazing data and statistics, and we are going to work on it. And in fact, time is limited. We need to do so much, Professor Goodwin and everybody else there. Economization of, oh, this is by mistake, somebody wrote it rooms. It is economization of rooms. This was a last minute update, Professor. Oops. Sorry for that. So it was economization of resources. So we would like to economize all our resources, right? We don't want to get into anything which will not do that by mistake, because it was 11th hour update. It went into rooms. Next, please. So these are pictures of sustainable architecture at AVC and EVC. Next, please. So this is the MTDC's Responsible Traveler Program. And so this is a kind of a guideline for both resort travelers, so sorry, for the resort guests and the travelers at large. Like MD Madam told us very clearly that we have a twofold system of carbon calculation and twofold system of responsible tourism management at MTDC, which we are looking at large for the people by inducing a lifestyle change and a behavior of a different kind, which is sustainable and which is akin to the environment, akin to the social fabric, akin to the economics and cultural fabric of that area. So the responsible tourism guidelines for MTDC resorts and travelers have been accumulated and assimilated into this MTDC Responsible Tourism Program, which is almost a 25 pages document, which is a very good document. We are talking about documentation. And Professor Goodwin, you'll be very happy to know this is what you had told us. That document. This is the three repetition slogan which you repeated in front of Jashi Boj ma'am. And then again you spoke to Srimati Shraddha Joshi madam. And we followed by it inch by inch, feet by feet, right? And we did it. So we have got questionnaire, a small questionnaire is given to the guest who is the seeker, who stays at us. He answers a few questions, and there are a lot of things which are eco-friendly. Of course, from the traditional linen management and non-use of electricity and non-use of keeping air conditioners at 24 and all that, what we, I shouldn't call it, those traditional things, but we have some unconventional things which are happening. Mahabaleshwar Resort, Mahabaleshwar restaurant people are asking, sir, are you coming alone or you have somebody with you? So the gentleman says, I'm alone. I'm the only person who is going to eat today here. So can I ask for a portion which is smaller? You you give the same price. And we do a small portion. 50% of the food is not wasted. And that is how it happens. And that starts with advocacy. All we are doing is doing a lot of advocacy. And a pledge comes along with it, a responsible tourism pledge. And the last one, which is the major thing and the major achievement, the major outcome of the responsible tourism program of MTDC is the carbon calculator. We have become the first tourism organization in India to come with a proper carbon calculator where measurements can be done. Next, please. These are the place cards which you have put in rooms. These are all environmental saving, but they are not ideal. The ones which are very traditional, they are done in a very different way. The fellows, Ankit and Samruddhi, are accredited for doing this. Next, please. Now, this is the carbon footprint calculator. So we aims at very simple. The carbon footprint calculator is one of its only kind in the country for a tourism organization. And what we do is that we are making the tourists, the guests, understand what is its impact on carbon, emission. How much carbon, what is the measurement of carbon, footprint of his since he traveled to this place, to our resort, and how it can be minimized. So we sensitize these people and they earn some green points. So these green points can be redeemed in future for a further room, to a room or something like that. And these green points are also those green points which a person can accumulate and feel proud of, that we have done. This is my small contribution to the environment, to everything on this earth, on the planet Earth, since we have only one planet Earth. Right. Next, please. May I request on this carbon calculator, the PMC, Project Management Consultant, Mr. Prakash, to kindly deal with it, please, and then we come back.
Sure. Everybody, hope I'm audible. So I'll quickly run through few slides on carbon calculator. So I'll quickly explain carbon calculator in detail. So first is the introduction of the carbon calculator. As Jaiswal sir was saying, this is like a unique initiative that MTDC has come up with. We have implemented the carbon calculator at all our resorts. So introduction to carbon calculator, what, why, and how. Carbon calculator is, we estimate the carbon footprint of any traveler who visits the MTDC property during their stay and also before the stay. And the carbon calculator is a tool which enables us to estimate the carbon footprint as well as the green points that they're able to accumulate during their stay. And why we are doing it, it is our responsibility as a travel or tourism organization to make sure that the carbon footprint that is produced by any resort or any organization or any individual in general to be tracked, right? And this is in a way sensitizing the travelers and also the organization, which will help us in a way to develop the appropriate goals and make adjustments to our offerings and help reduce our carbon footprint in general. And how we are doing it right now, we are doing it through a Google form, which we have circulated across all resorts. And this will help us collect the data regarding the carbon footprint based on the inputs that the traveler has provided or the resort has provided. And this will give us the output of the carbon footprint or the carbon emission and also the green points. Next slide, please. Yeah, so quickly understanding the carbon footprint reduction calculation process. So this is a flow chart which illustrates the step-by-step process. So let us take an initiative, any initiative that we have introduced as part of the responsible tourism program. Let's say if it is for the linen usage and washing. So for the pre-implementation scenario, it was done on a daily basis. So we have curated the emission factors in collaboration with a green audit agency. So there is a emission factor table for the corresponding initiative or the scenario. We pick the corresponding emission factor and multiply it with the units or the quantity that was consumed or that was used during the stay. And we come up with the final total likely carbon emissions post implementation scenario and pre-implementation scenario. And we then divide it by the number of days during their stay to normalize it and bring it to a daily scale. And then see the difference between the pre-implementation and post-implementation, they in a way giving us the reduction in the carbon emission and kg CO2. Yeah, next slide, please.
Next slide, please.
Yeah, so as sir was saying, we have done it in two steps. One is at the resort level and also at the traveler level. Here we are showing the traveler level carbon reduction emission and the carbon reduction at the MTDC resorts. So we have done it in four distinguished initiatives. One is the linen and towel usage, and then the drinking water and type of food choice and the waste management. So in the first three initiatives, the average reduction comes out to be approximately 30% when compared to the pre-implementation scenario and post-implementation of the responsible tourism. And then the waste management, by introducing the waste management, as Jaiswal sir was saying, We have almost reduced the waste management, also converted from the plastic traditional waste to the paper waste. We were able to achieve almost 90% reduction there. So the overall reduction comes close to 60% at a resort level. And next slide, please. Yeah, this is another aspect of the carbon calculator, where we are calculating the green points that the traveler was able to gain during their stay. So green points are nothing but the points that they'll be able to gain by active participation in the initiatives that we are offering at the MTDC resorts. So for each initiative that they have participated in, we are allotting 1 point. So here there is a distribution of the average traveler. So it's more than 80% or more than 75% of the travelers are participating in more than 4 initiatives. We have in total 6 initiatives right now, and going forward we might have to increase the number of initiatives, and then we'll come up with the updated graph. But right now, majority of the travelers actively participating in all our green initiatives, evident from the pie chart which is shown. And yeah, what this indicates is a commendable commitment of travelers and the resort to sustainable practices, and also showcase their efforts towards environmental, environmental stewardship among our community.
Okay.
So yeah, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we have only a few slides. I will take the next 3 minutes and then we go to our Professor Goodwin. And thank you, everybody. There are a lot of comments which are pouring in. Many people have joined. In fact, so many people have joined now. And can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. So we have this is another aspect of MTDC, biodiversity conservation. And as you know very clearly that most of our MTDC units are based at places which are fragile, which are environmentally fragile. Some of the places are, in fact, one of our resorts, which is at Mahabaleshwar, has got one of the meteorological guys who told us, and it was quite interesting to me, in fact, because we got engaged into a conversation, and he said that Mahabaleshwar MTDC has a microclimate, and we were really surprised with that. The kind of climate which we have at the bus station of Mahabaleshwar and the hotels there, and the one which we have here is altogether different. One of the reasons is this, and that is the reason why one of the reasons that we have started biodiversity conservation in a very, very big way is this. And you'd be surprised again to know and taken aback that the state mammal, the state mammal of Maharashtra is shekru, or the Indian giant squirrel, or the Malabar giant squirrel. The Indian giant squirrel or the Malabar giant squirrel is in big numbers at Mahabaleshwar Resort than at any other place in Maharashtra. We have got more than, and we have got the only one white in the world which is residing there. We are very lucky to have her at this place. And these are some of the biodiversity conservation efforts of us. You can see we have aquatic tourism units, and you can see that most of the frogs and the snakes, the reptiles. So this guy is a kind of a herpetologist in making, and also an ornithologist. His name is Ganesh, and all he does, he rescues animals and leaves them again into the wild. Next, please. And this is the Indian Institute of Scuba Diving Aqua Sports. We have our experts who do all this, and they help the district administration and the local bodies to rescue whales. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the blue whale calf, which adrift on the western coast near Ganpatipure. And this was very ably rescued for the first day. Later, it lost his life. And this is how olive-ridley turtles nest in big numbers. It is not only in Odisha, in Bhitarkanika and other places. Maharashtra is a heaven of olive-ridley turtles. The difference is that we don't touch these turtles, and we look at them from a long distance, and that is how our conservation efforts go on. Next, please. We have orchids at our place, and this is a very different program. This is a MTDC outreach program. You can see these children, right? These are children with disabilities. Their disabilities, which could be physical or mental disabilities, but these are the boys who are doing very well. MTDC organized a camp for them on World Autism Day. That was the first one in the whole of the nation. Next, please. and these are other aspects. So thank you very much for this. And we would like to go to the last slide of accreditation awards and can we go to the next second last, please? Professor Kulshrestha, Professors Khurana, Professor Haldar, Professor Mahajan, everybody, teachers, hoteliers, right? Mr. Pradeep Shetty, everybody, please forgive me, I'm not taking everybody's name. This is how we do our sensitization workshops, right? For creating awareness and things of that sort. Recently, for all our resort managers, we took an environmental responsible tourism program, and that is how it helps. And the last slide, please. And after that, we play the video and then I'll stop. Last slide, please. So these are some of the feathers in our cap. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Professor Goodwin. Thank you, Manisha ji, everybody, all our well-wishers in the country, all our well-wishers in Bhutan, in Japan, Indonesia. I can see you all here. I can see Amir there from Indonesia. I can see Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Dorji from Bhutan. I can also see a lot many people. Mr. Thakkar from the BNB, very well-known industrialist, is here. And such big people joining shows a big interest. In fact, I am unable to take anybody's name. We are overwhelmed. And thank you, MD Madam, for all this. So we got a Scotch Award, we got an ICRT Award, we got a SATE Award as for the best responsible tourism unit. And that was very competitive. And we were MP and Maharashtra were the final winners. So we had two, there was a tie, and they had to understand that Maharashtra is nowhere behind and it has to be brought in the forefront. And the Scotch Award silver rank. Thank you, ma'am, for that. And thank you very much, everybody. I am leaving you with a video, and then Mansi will take, and Madam, MD Madam will speak, and then Mr. Professor Goodwin will give his remarks, conclusive remarks and observation on all this. I would like to tell you one more very important thing, that's a video which is coming up. And it is because of you, because of all our employees at MTDC, our resort managers, our staff, our housekeeping people, that we are able to do it. Thank you. Keep us right. Keep us charged all the while. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you very much. We have Captain Swadesh Kumar, who is the boss, is the head of such good people. I mean, big numbers of people have joined. Thank you again. And we have a video on biodiversity. And after that, I would request Mansi and Professor Goodwin later. Just wait. The video is coming. We are playing the video. Much, everybody, for a patient hearing. Thank you, ma'am, for chairing this meeting, in fact, and for always motivating us to do something a breed apart. Professor Goodwin, thank you very much. I would like Mansi to look into this and the later program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful presentation. Now I would request Professor Harold Goodwin to give a conclusive remark on the initiatives that MTDC has implemented till date. Professor Goodwin.
Thank you for the opportunity to hear from Maharashtra about all the things that you're doing in responsible tourism. It's an impressive range of activities. I'd like also to thank you for moving this so that I could be with you. As you said earlier in this meeting, I was at the time you had originally scheduled this, I was chairing the Latin America Responsible Tourism Awards. It gives me an opportunity to say that I hope you are entering for the India Responsible Tourism Awards. That's the ICRT India Foundation Awards. The breadth of what you do is really impressive. And you've obviously taken up my point that you need to be able to talk about what you've achieved as well as about what you're doing. But one of the things which I think you should definitely do this year is to enter in the inclusiveness category, partly because of the work you're doing with women, but also because of the barrier-free aspirations of the state in terms of tourism. I think that's a really important part. And one of the things that always strikes me about India is the way in which you talk about the differently abled rather than the disabled. I think that's a much more positive way of thinking about people who are living with disabilities, but continuing to live, hopefully, full lives. And I think tourism is an important part of their lives, as it is of ours. And the work you've been doing on the carbon calculator looks very interesting to me. And I think you should consider entering into the category on climate change as well in the India Awards. And I look forward to seeing those. Very early on, you said that responsible tourism is about achieving sustainable tourism, and that is absolutely the point. Responsible tourism started because of the realization that a lot of people were talking about sustainability, but not actually doing anything to achieve it. And responsibility is essentially what you do to make tourism better, to make it more sustainable. Unfortunately, still, most people just talk about sustainability without doing anything to achieve it. Now, one of the things that's happened with some campaigners in India is a focus on the contribution that the tourist makes, and clearly the behaviour of the tourist, the purchasing choices that the tourist makes, does make a big difference to whether tourism is sustainable or not. But this business of tourism is something which is co-created. It's created by the tourist, the community the tourist is visiting, and the businesses from whom the tourist purchases the goods and services that they use. And let me make that very concrete. If your aspiration is to reduce plastic consumption, and obviously that is one of your aspirations, then not having water for sale in plastic bottles removes the plastic waste and removes the plastic from your environment. And we can persuade tourists as much as we like not to buy plastic water bottles, but if they're available for purchase, some tourists will continue to buy them. If they're not available, and there are alternative ways of providing water for tourists, then they won't be purchasing the plastic water bottles. So I would say that choice editing is really the way that we need to go, because that's how we increase the participation of the tourist in a more sustainable and more responsible way of traveling. We take away the irresponsible choices so that the consumer can only purchase the responsible choices. I loved your video on rethinking tourism. And if somebody can send me the link to that, I will certainly want to distribute it widely around the world. The fundamental choice for a state or a panchayat is really about whether your community is going to use tourism or be used by it. That's the choice. Are you going to use tourism for the sustainable development of your communities, or are you just going to be exploited by the tour operators and the tourists? That is at its absolute core the question that you face. And that's why that phrase, using tourism to make better places for people to live in and better places for people to visit, is so important. And it's surprising how many people still get that the wrong way round. You know, the priority is about where people live. The second objective is for people to visit people living in great places to live. You're right to say, I think, that responsible tourism is here to stay, but the battle is certainly not won. And there's a lot of work still to be done. If I'm able to help you with that, I'm very keen to do so. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to hear about what you're doing, but also to comment on it. And as Manisha will tell you, I'm going to be in India again in early September. And if I can be of any value to you in Maharashtra in that period, I'd be very keen to come along and help. But I've been very impressed by what I've seen today, and I would encourage you to enter the awards and to get the recognition that you aspire to. Obviously, I can't judge who's going to win. We've only so far judged the Africa and the Latin America awards. There are a number of regional awards still to come, but I very much hope that you will enter the India Awards this year. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to you. And it is impressive that we've had 200 people on this call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Goodwin. Thank you for your comments. We will definitely send you our responsible tourism video. Then your responsible tourism awards, we would like to mention that MTDC has been promoting. We have not been doing just our own initiatives, but we are also promoting the awards application.
Thank you very much,
across the state.
Mr. Goodwin. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for talking to us, for giving us such valuable insights. I think every time, whenever we talk to us, we listen to your words. It's always so encouraging, and we learn a lot from you. Thank you very much, Manisha ji, for everything, whatever you all are doing through ICRT also. And thank you very much, Mr. Goodwin. It was really a great lecture. I think all of us, all the students also present over here, they are the ones who will take these things ahead, I think, and the organizations who all have joined today. So I'm very happy. And again, I would like to thank my team. Like I said earlier also, my GM, Mr. Shekhar Jaiswal, Mr. Borse, who is doing very good towards making our building sustainable, our RMs, Jagdish ji, Dinesh ji, Maushami ji, खरने जी, माने जी, और जितने भी लोग हैं यहाँ पर, संजय जी, all the team members of my headquarters, our fellows, Mansi ji, Shipra ji, and everyone is doing their bit towards this responsible tourism. And I'm sure we all together will do great. And thank you very much, Mr. Goodwin, for being there today with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, Mansi, please carry on.
At the onset, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Shraddha ma'am, for being there always with us. And for, this is one of the biggest things I have achieved in the career of tourism. My whole life has gone into tourism. I did only courses in tourism. I was the first one to get trained in ecotourism in the year 1996 by the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and the WTO that time. But ma'am, I would like to tell you, this responsible tourism is a turning point in tourism annals of Maharashtra and India. And we are very thankful to you for giving us this opportunity. And Professor Goodwin, I mean, we have no words for you. You took out time, and early morning in London, I said to you, 8 a.m. is a time for English breakfast, a full English breakfast. And you are here. So thank you very much, sir, once again, Manisha Pandey. And there are so many people who have joined MD ma'am. In fact, all our MTDC resort managers, our regional managers, senior regional managers. I can see Captain Swadesh Kumar sir here very clearly on the video. Such big icons of India who talk to the Honorable Prime Minister of India are with us today, who are very personal friends of the Honorable Prime Minister. We can see them here. So Captain Saab, thank you very much for coming, sir. आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. IHM Pune, IHM Hyderabad, IHM Goa, Miss Haldar, and Mr. Parte. So many people, in fact, we have a list of so many people, in fact. HR College, thank you, everybody, right? Thank you, everybody, and thanks once again. And ma'am, thank you once again. So all we can say is that
It was
that,
a
you
lovely
know,
program of yours. Very nice, very informative. Thank you.
yeah, anybody wants to have a, ma'am, should we leave this forum open for people, ma'am?
Yes, yes, please do that. There's so many.
Okay, so we can have one
These are
comment
here.
from
So
everybody in case you
comments,
want.
I have a
suggestions.
suggestion. Do share this presentation with the associations so they can forward to us.
Okay, Captain Saab, we'll do that.
Yes, it was a lovely presentation, and I think we share with all the associations. All of us will get it a copy. So actually, I would like to have myself one, if possible.
Thank you. Sagarika, please note it down.
Thank you.
Could I just add to that, that if you are able to send me the link, I will put it up on the international network as well.
We'll do that, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I have to go
Professor-
now to another meeting, but thank you very much indeed for the
Yes, sir.
opportunity.
So we can continue. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Thank
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
time. Can we have Professor Kulshrestha? Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I think we are already, if anybody is there, I mean,
I think
Mr.
everybody is
Renu.
very happy. Want to leave now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Thank you so much. We had an excellent webinar. Great knowledge. Thank you, Jaswal sir. Thank you, ma'am. All the best.
Here only on this platform, I would request anybody like the stakeholders from Maharashtra who are practicing responsible tourism, they can apply for the ICRT awards, and MTDC can give them recommendation letters who are really into practicing the grassroots of responsible practices in Maharashtra.
And Delhi is a part of Maharashtra also, I hope.
Hello?
Yes,
I said
yes,
Delhi
yes.
is also a part of Maharashtra.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
very much. Suresh Saab, we are talking about India. We are talking about India. Thank you so much.
As I must correct you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi, Jaswal sir. Hi, Manisha. I would definitely like to thank Shraddha ma'am, the Jaswal sir, Manisha, Mansi, who has really taken pain of, bringing responsible tourism to all of us. I think nobody can explain as good as you can speak, Mr. Jaiswal. I think you are really, really very responsible tourism. So this was wonderful presentation. And yes, of course, we would like to have the link to it. So we can promote it in a better way. And my request, you should send this to all the associations, travel associations, so we can have many more webinars and let everybody have the awareness of responsible tourism. Thank you so much. It was really nice. Very, very eye-opening program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ishaji. Anybody else want to say anything? Or I think we can conclude today's.
No,
I'd just like to say something, Mansi.
Hello, Ajay.
Hello,
Ajay,
sir.
we missed you, Ajay. Thanks. Sorry,
No.
sorry.
No, I was here, my video was off, but I think this is an excellent presentation and it's a great initiative. I mean, I'm glad to see Maharashtra finally taking the lead in something that is the dire need of the moment. Please share the link with us. We will send it out to all our members. I think this is inspirational and very motivational. So thank you for organizing this to all of you at MTDC. Thank you very much. It was lovely.
Ajay sir, thank you. This is one more TAFI member with you here. We must have a webinar for TAFIans also.
Absolutely, absolutely, we should do it.
Thank you so much.
TAFI and also with IIPT, we would like to have big initiatives.
Yes, because I mean that's the core of what we're talking about at IIPT.
For the benefit of all, I would like to mention that Mr. Ajay Prakash is the president of TAFI India and a very big influential person in the tourism industry in our country, as well as he is also the international convener and president of the IIPT, International Institute for Peace Through Tourism. And coincidentally, you are so lucky, Mr. Prakash. MD ma'am, this year's theme of World Tourism Day is tourism and peace.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of things to do.
Yes, we should plan something definitely on the Tourism Day or the International Day of Peace, which is the 21st of September, Mr. Jaiswal. Look forward to cooperation from the MTDC on that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else would like to say anything?
Yeah, this is Professor Sandeep from HP Central University, Dharamshala. I wish to extend my sincere thanks to, I purposefully have written Professor Jaiswal. The manner in which you have managed the show, it shows that you are a professor of tourism. Excellent presentation, and you have given a wonderful opportunity to uh, all the fraternity from academia as well as from industry. And Jaswal sir, we are looking forward to have the tie-up with MTDC. Earlier, I was with working with the Indian Institute of Tourism and Travel Management, and recently I have shifted to the Center for Promotion of Ecological Adventure, Health and Cultural Tourism as director in Central University, Himachal. So, and you know, the speaker, the guest speaker, all were excellent. And I pray to the Almighty for the prosperity of the MTDC under your under the leadership.
Professor Kulshrestha, this is all credit goes to Srimati Shraddha ma'am, who has given us this
I-
dais platform.
I know that she's under her leadership. This MTDC would reach to the new height, but of course, she will require the good team leader also. As a GM, you are doing wonderful things. Wishing you all the best, and
Thank
feel
you.
free. We have around now 45 research scholars. Those are pursuing PhD in tourism domain. HP Central University has the highest number of research scholar registered for PhD, and they are.
And one more thing I would like to add for the benefit of everybody here. All out of this 45, 33 PhD students are working with Professor Sandeep Kulshrestha. Thank you so much.
So nice of you. Thank you.
Wonderful.
I would like to.
I'm so glad to hear such
Respected
encouraging
ma'am.
words. I think
Ma'am, just one moment. MD ma'am wants to say something, please.
no, just I'm thanking everyone because it's so nice to hear such good words, such encouraging words from everyone. And as I said earlier, also I am really thankful to my team. You all have done really good towards responsible tourism. So it's
Ma'am,
really
we have an iconic personality who wants to talk something, and
yeah,
he's trying.
I can see him, the master of this field. Yes.
Yeah, father of agritourism. He
Yes.
the recent
Namaste.
agritourism prize we got it and in Italy.
नमस्कार, कशा आहेत आपण?
नमस्ते मॅडम, कशा आहात तुम्ही? आणि सगळ्यांना तुम्ही एवढ्या सगळ्या गोष्टींनी जबाबदार पर्यटन किंवा उत्तरदायी पर्यटनाचं जे एक आता झूम मीटिंग घेतलेली आहे त्याच्याबद्दल सर्व आपण मॅडम आणि सर्व जयस्वाल सर आणि मानसी मॅडम आणि सर्व आपला स्टाफ त्यांना खूप खूप शुभेच्छा आणि खूप खूप धन्यवाद. कारण हा विषय बऱ्याच दिवसापासून पेंडिंग होता. Professor Harold Goodwin sir, namaste from the farm, and I would like to show you because I am every time on the move and see the farms. This is one of the best farms near in the Pune district, and they have maintained 89% of the farming and only 11% tourism. So if you see here now, birds chirping here, a lot of birds and all responsible tourism activities they are doing. And you will be surprised to see that they have maintained the nests here for the birds to come in and to put their nests here like this. So these are all agritourism from day one. Last 20 years, we are doing responsible tourism activities. And Professor Goodwin is the witness for that because Agritourism India was the first gold Responsible Tourism Award winner in London in 2011. So Professor Goodwin, thank you so much, Madam Siddha Madam. Thank you so much. Jaswal sir, thank you so much and giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Great to see your farm. Wonderful.
Hello. Yeah, madam, I would like to. Yes, my name is Dharmesh. I'm from Mumbai. I would like to thank MTDC and all the supporting staff, Jaiswal sir, MD madam, and all the colleagues of the team. So basically, I would like to tell highlighting one thing. When as a tourist, I can when I'm going to somewhere as a tour. So I able to carry 10 kg, 5 kg along with me, food and eatables. While returning back, that weight is around empty packets is around 10%. That means rest is hardly 10% is 1 kg.
So it is as a responsible tourism, it is my duty to return all trash back with me. Wherever dustbins are available, we have to drop all the garbage in that. This is the basic thing I think all tourists have to follow. Like all the ghats, Western Ghats, all the ghats are having plastic waste. It's a very difficult task to remove those trash from those areas. So entire Sayadri Ghat, beautiful Sayadri range we have. We as a citizen, as a tourist, it's our responsibility to make those areas clean. And whatever we are bringing with us while returning, we have to carry back all the trash. So it's our duty, and so much organizing this platform to allowing me to talk. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bidai. Anybody else? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your
Namaste. This is Khyati from Dream Holiday, and we met Jaiswal ji and all during our one of the Maharashtra tourism meet, which was very fond fam trip for all the agents of Maharashtra tourism. I wanted to again, like everyone, wanted to offer my sincere gratitude for this wonderful session. At the same time, I was surprised to hear, which nobody knows, that our all heritage monuments are now accessible. So I am personally specially able. I have got amputated foot, with which I do all my journeys. Now, if we get the list of all the monuments which are accessible, so I've got a list of people who are ready to travel, various monuments and maybe forts or which all monuments are there in short, which are so well accessible. Then we can conduct a special trip for them and create that awareness that Maharashtra is getting accessible. Nowhere in India we have so much accessibility, and which is a need of an hour. So I have given my number and email ID, and I am one of the Maharashtra tourism agent, MTDC subscribed agent. So if you can forward those details, I am keen to organize one of the trips for some of the wheelchair users with your support.
Thank you, ma'am. Definitely, we will consider this. It's a very good initiative that you have suggested. We'll definitely take it up. And anybody else would like to say anything? Shall we conclude?
I think we should.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. And this this responsible tourism, like though MTDC has started its initiatives, there's a long way for all of us to go. So we would request that all stakeholders we come together and contribute our bits towards responsible tourism. As rightly Professor Gurvind said that there's a long way to go, and even we can seek ICRT's help also in the implementation. So
and it won't be a harm in saying that, I was speaking to our managing director, madam, yesterday, and she said after this webinar is just a threshold. It's an umberta. It's just something, we are starting it. But she told me very clearly, Shekhar, किसी भी हालत में responsible tourism का conclave होना ही चाहिए साल में एक बार. So we already are telling you that this is going to happen soon, and we need all of you together. Ma'am has given the indication, and we will surely abide by that. Ma'am, thank you for that. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank
Jaiswal sir. Jaiswal sir.
Yes, sir.
जामुन खाने के लिए आई है, जामुन खाने के लिए.
मैम को लेके जाओ, सबको, हमको, हमारे सब लोगों को लेके जाओ.
अरे देखो.
Yes.
ये देखो.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you very much.